Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another live trading webinar. How are you guys doing today? So William said, good morning, Theo. Good morning, William. Ruben said, hi, Theo, and hi to everyone. Same Maria Julia said, good morning. Hello, Ruben. Hello, Maria Julia. Good morning, everyone, said from Janice. How are you doing, Janice? Mark said, good morning, Theo. Good morning, Mark. Send. I like your name, Send. It's a nice one. Good morning, Send. Mladen, good morning to Theo and all. Good morning, Mladen. To Melo, it's been a while to see your name here. Good morning, my friend. Fuad said good morning to you all. Good morning, Fuad. Guys, the interest rates in New Zealand early this morning, they've been unchanged at 5.5%, as it was the last month. So we'll see how the Kiwi will react during the day. And of course, our risk warning said that this content is for general information only and is not intended to provide any trading or investment advice or any kind of personal recommendation. So weekly fundamental analysis so far stated that if the interest rates remain as it is in New Zealand at 5.5%, and tonight the Bank of Canada will increase the interest rates, maybe we're going to see some good opportunities to sell the Kiwi cat, and of course to try and buy something on the strength of the Canadian dollar. Let's check the charts. I placed a pending order just a while ago. Let me show you what I did. We have this trend line. Just bear with me. So this is a downward trend line. Market made 1, 2 retest. After it retested here, we can draw a line because we have 2 points, and we will see if a trend will occur. How can we identify that this trend line or a trend can occur so it can make this trend line first tentative and then valid first? If we're going to see the price from this point to make a lower low, then we call this trend line, down trend line, as a tentative trend line. And if we see another retest here and even as a false breakout, we call this as a valid trend line. So for now, this trend line became, this downward trend line became valid. And early this morning, the current candle or bar penetrated the previous bar high. So I come and I place pending order either below of the low of the candle. If they are very close to each other, I don't mind that. If the open is very close to the low, I don't mind to place a pending order below the low, because we're talking about few pips only. And the room, of course, the risk to reward is 3 to 1 here. So I have a sell stop order, stop loss 50 pips and 150 pips take profit. If it's not gonna trigger it by today's broker time, 23:45 p.m., automatically it will be cancelled. Questions? Larry said, good morning, Theo. Good morning, Larry. Ruben, thanks for joining us. Good morning, Ruben. Let's check the pound. Nice higher highs. That's what we would like to see, guys. Even if we trade trends or reversals, we want to see the price deviating, every candle or every bar to be deviated from each other. So it shows clarity in the market. We'll be waiting to see what's going to happen today. But as yesterday, after we start making higher highs, we said that pretty much we are bullish on the major, so we prefer to dump the US dollar in general. Although I had another losing trade yesterday on the USD Canadian dollar, I will show you in a while. Move on, Euro against the US dollar. If we check on the weekly chart, we will identify that there is a strong resistance here. As you can see from the weekly chart, we had a nice bullish engulfing here, and the market is pushing higher. So on the lower time frames, traders can take advantage of that. Market made a new high. We do expect to see some continuation, to be honest. Here it's a minor resistance. I call it minor because it's in the execution time frame. I call it major if it's going to be on the weekly chart. That's based on the way I analyze the market. Now, again, if you're analyzing the market on the hourly chart, your major support resistance lines are founded on the hourly chart. And if you execute on the 15 minutes, the minor will be on the 15 minutes. Now, in case that the both support and resistance on the major and minor, they are found at the same area, then it's totally different story. Francis, join us now. Good morning, Theo from Gambia. Good morning, my friend Francis. Palmier said, good morning, everyone. Same as Carlos. Good morning, Palmier, and good morning, Mr. Carlos. Now, we have this high, and we keep looking for more bullishness on the euro US dollar. Next, Australian dollar US dollar. We was looking at this area of resistance. And this area of support. And the good thing is that we see some breakout outside of this consolidation. On the weekly chart, really, it just shows nothing. But if you're going to start buying the Australian dollar, here is your next area of resistance. Here it's the previous support. Here is the upcoming resistance. So there is fairly good room of opportunity for the market to move. Next one, New Zealand dollar against the US dollar. This one, there is a resistance here. I wouldn't be rushing to do anything with this one. There is more clarity on the pound US dollar and now on the euro US dollar instead of the Aussie and the Kiwi. USD JPY extremely strong. The JPY is dumping all the other currencies. If you have a look at the weekly chart, we can identify the nice uptrending market with shallow pullbacks, and the market now is making its pullback. Here it's some support. I'll show you on the daily. Here there is some support in the market. And yep. And there is an uptrend line. And that's a tentative. If we're going to retest and stay above, it's going to be a valid one. Sorry, if we're going to retest and even if we going to penetrate the trend line, again, it's going to make it a valid one because price will touch on that trend line. It's a good area if you draw the fib retracement from the low to the high. You can spot that currently the price is at 50% fib retracement, but if it's going to continue and come to this congestion here, it's just above the 61.8, and it's a very promising buying zone. Guys, the analysis I do here, you can do it in any time frame. Again, if you trade on the hourly chart and your analysis is on the 4-hour chart, you can replicate the same methodology, higher highs and higher lows, and fib from 100% to 0%, and price action and trend lines and support in every time frame, in any time frame. But I cannot do all these in all different time frames. Okay, so I just do it on the daily and weekly, which is more relevant for our sessions. And feel free to use the exact same methodology and replicate it on the lower time frames. USD Canadian dollar, we have this channel formed here. Although on the higher time frame, on the weekly, the market is in a downtrend because we see lower highs and lower lows forming. Yesterday, I tried to capture this bullish engulfing to the upside. It got triggered, and then I hit my stop loss in an attempt of any weakness in the Canadian dollar prior to the event, but it didn't come. What is important to say at this point is, after the market break to the downside, retrace back to this resistance, and it formed this bearish engulfing, as you can see, and since then the market is trading lower. The reason I didn't participate in this bearish engulfing is because the length of the candle or the bar, now I notice that I was monitoring the bar, sorry, most of you are used with candles. The length of this candle, it's 120 pips, and the ATR at that point, if we move the mouse on top of the line, it's 70. The value it's 713, that means 71 pips. So the candle moved 120 pips, but the average true range of the price the last 14 days, it was 70 pips. It's not a favorable reward to risk at any occasion. The next area of support, and that makes it, why do we want to use support and resistance? Because we find the room of opportunity for retail trading. We want to see where price might be heading to. It bounced from resistance and it sold off. Then the next area that the price might be heading to, it's the next available support. Again, on the time frame you trade. So the next support I can identify it here. It's the low of this bullish engulfing candle. But if I was entering here with a stop loss of 120 pips, the room of opportunity is 150 pips. So I should have used a stop loss of 50 pips, and I didn't do that. And yeah, so that was the only valid reason for me to enter in this trade. But again, you see the power of the bullish and bearish engulfing. They show dynamic shift in the market, and it's always misleading. It's always on the side of the wrong traders, because at some point the bearish engulfing formed when the price moved to a higher high, and instantly it takes the opposite side. Next, euro against the JPY. If we check the weekly chart, we formed a nice bearish engulfing last week. So we expect this week to see some continuation to the downside. Here is the next support. That's an inside support, very strong support in the market. On the daily chart, though, it matches with this high of the candle. And yeah, we do expect to see some continuation. Now, for me, entering on the daily chart, no opportunity arise here. But for you, maybe entering on the 4-hour charts, or for those who enter on the 4-hour charts, 1-hour chart, there are numerous of opportunities. Market makes lower strong impulse candles, bearish candles, and then hovering around, that screams for a nice breakout. Sell stop loss here, 2 or 3 to 1. Congestion here within a strong bearish candle in a downtrend, scream for a breakout, sell stop loss there, boom, and so on and so forth. That's a 1-hour chart. On the 12-minute time frame, though, not many things to check. Pound JPY. Same scenario with the Euro JPY. On the weekly chart, we are selling off. There is this impulse candle, the bullish one, and usually the 50% of this candle can act as a support zone on a bounce, on a pullback. So we do expect to see some pullback around these areas here. But for today, everything looks like going short, at least for another 50 pips. So mark this in your watch list: Euro yen, pound yen. If you are trading a short time frames, looks like good opportunities for shorts. Australian dollar, JPY, same. The next strong support I see is somewhere here, an inside one, and very promising. Market can be moved a bit lower, to be honest. Let's see what's going to happen. And of course, Canadian dollar, JPY, pretty much the same scenario. But again, I would prefer to leave the cat out of the plans for today, at least until we see what's going to happen with the interest rate. The only trades I would like to participate with the cat is to buy it, ideally, instead of selling it. Kiwi against the JPY, pretty much the same story. Euro cat, here it's an interesting thing. Support zone, we can say that it's this low here. Resistance can be this one, this one, this one. Let's start with the first and we work our way up. So the first resistance is this one here. The next resistance is this one there. Now the market, it looks like it's on its way up. But if the rates gonna rise today in Canada, I believe we're gonna see a strong move to the downside. So the only way I will participate in this market is with a bearish engulfing, and to take a bearish engulfing, I have to place an alert above the previous candle high. Right click, alert, and if it's going to be triggered, if I receive notification today, I will place a sell stop order below the low of the previous candle. USD CHF. Market finally broke to the downside. Let's check if we can use a channel. We can channel it a little bit. And now it's on a free fall. That was the last weekly support. We need to zoom out to find the next one. Next one is this one here. So these are the support. Price is very close to both of them. So I don't think so. I'm going to keep selling this unless we break outside of this support. Euro, Kiwi. Nothing here. Very messy. Euro, pound at this support zone here. On the weekly chart, though, the next support it's down there. So if we close below, we might be looking to do something to the short side. Guys, any questions? Why you are very quiet today? Do you understand everything so you don't have any questions? That's great, actually. Or you are very bored to type anything today. It's middle of the week. Come on, it's not Friday yet. It's middle of the week. Weekly chart on silver. Nothing daily. Nothing. DAX, we leave it for later. WTI is trying to break outside of this congestion area. Cooper. Mr. Cooper, what's going on here? So on the weekly chart, it looks like a downtrend is intact. We can also draw this. No, we cannot draw this because we don't have a low. So that's not even a tentative trend line. Only this one is valid for now. But the market stayed within the previous week's range, and it will be good to start maybe looking for some bearish engulfing to get us to the short side. Bitcoin. Yesterday we had an inside candle, but again, I'm expecting to see some break outside of this congestion area and preferably to the upside. Gold. Gold. That's the recent high. I can see false breakout here. Again, guys, weakness of the US dollar can lead gold to push higher. DAX. Yesterday, DAX climbed higher. Today, we have this resistance at this point here. There is a lot of room for the candle to move higher, but you can, guys, see that it's in a downtrend now. We don't mind to buy the DAX on a scalping at 10 a.m. in the morning or 8 a.m. in London. But overall, we understand that if we use a downward trend line, and this is the resistance, price, it's in a downtrend and clear downtrend. You see how these candles, they are moving away from each one in a very tight sequence. Let's move on. 4-hour chart, still the same lines are valid. On the hourly chart, I can see this swing low, which is relevant for our 5-minute trading. Although we have to go through another swing low and another swing low and another swing low on the 5-minute chart. Now, so ideally, this is one of the nicest trade setup, guys. Why? Because market is showing this lower low and lower high. And before the London Open, it creates this pullback. So sell stop order in 2 minutes can go below this low on the 1 minute chart. Buy stop. Let's check back quickly. If we go with a buy stop here, looks like it's a bit too much, but that's what I'm gonna do. Regardless, if the price moves beyond this high point, then I would like to be a buyer. If the price moves below this low point, I would like to be a seller. So let's wait for a couple of minutes. Damik asked to analyze the Bitcoin USD. We just talked about it. Ruben, stock 50. Stock 50. Are you trading stock 50, Ruben? William, Theo, is US CPI this afternoon? How do we interpret this? How do you interpret this? If you will trade on the 1 minute and 5 minute chart around that event, please don't do anything. If you're gonna trade swing trading like daily charts, 4-hour chart, it's perfect. You keep doing as you do. The only events that we are a little bit skeptical to be very active in the market is when the FOMC minutes meeting occurs, usually in the non-farm payrolls. The rest are pretty much okay. Again, none of the major or significant news events is good to trade around these events on the 1 minute or 5 minute, 15 minute charts. Oh, I was reading the comments and I didn't place the sell stop order here, so I missed the entry. Come on. I missed the entry to the short side, guys. So if you had your sell stop order here, then it's good. I didn't, so yep. I'm just sitting and watching the market now. Rumen asked Theo, what about the UR research on New York opening scalping? You mean the live trading? We are talking about it. So to find some structure around the events and see when I will be able to implement, but for the meantime, it's just under discussion only and not, we haven't decided yet exactly how we're going to do it. Because I have the investing webinars now that they occur on a weekly basis, and I have to see how both can be work together. Guys, I missed the entries here. I didn't get into any trade. Let's see how this is going to develop. Oh, look, always when I trade it here, what do you mean, Florin, where to put stop loss? If we are short on this one here, ideally, we would like to put the stop loss above this high. 10:02. We are looking for the next few candles. It looks like that trade, it played over 12. Market is just pushing lower, but this is very dangerous shadow I can see here, and I don't like it, to be honest. So from moment to moment, the market can reverse. So the DAX trade today successfully played over for those who didn't miss the entry. I think that's all for today, guys. I will cancel the buy stop order, of course. Just close. Well done, Florin. You are very welcome. All right, guys. I will leave you for today. I wish to everyone to have happy trading ahead. Remember, 2 major news events, and let's see what the outcome will be. I will look forward to see you tomorrow at the same time. Again, thank you so much for your participation.